Hello sister and brother, I'm back on this channel to share with you about the storyline of a movie. Right now, I'm bringing up the storyline of a movie called Rough Cut, 2008. What if the gangster leader is shooting a movie and acting with his co-star? The fight scenes are real. It gives goosebumps too. What do you think about the fun of the movie? Okay, before continuing, don't forget to click like, comment and share. Help this channel grow and upload more videos regularly. Well, this Korean film that has won a number of award nominations is directed by Jang Joon, starring So Jae-sub as Lee Kang-tae and Kang Jae-hwan as Jang Soo-ta. The movie begins by showing a group of gangsters who torture a man and throw him in the middle of the sea. The head of the gangster is named Kang-tae. After that, Kang-tae was seen watching a movie starring his idol actor Jang Soo-ta. The scene changes again. Seen there Kang-tae, who was waiting outside the theater by his men. Kang-tae, who may be embarrassed because he is a gangster leader, tries to take his time to watch movies from his idol actor, namely Soo-ta. When asked by his subordinates where he went, Kang-tae did not answer the question. On the one hand, Soo-ta is being awaited by reporters to be asked for clarification regarding whether he intentionally hit his co-star while shooting the film. However, Jang Soo-ta didn't want to comment and just left. In the car, Soo-ta's manager scolds and advises Soo-ta so that he can control his emotions for the sake of his future career. In the evening, Kang-tae is seen at a karaoke place. On the way to his room, Kang-tae and his men met a beautiful girl named Kang Mi-na. She is a famous actress. At that time, Kang Mi-na was having a meeting with a director named Mr. Bong. Also seen there is Soo-ta and the rest of the film crew. They are discussing a new film they will be working on. On the one hand, Kang-tae's henchman offers his boss to ask for Soo-ta's autograph because Kang-tae's favorite actor is at the venue. Then after going to Soo-ta's room, Kang-tae's men return to his room to tell him that Soo-ta told him to come personally to see him if he wanted an autograph. After that, Kang-tae's other henchman comes to Soo-ta and scolds her for not being so famous and smug. After that, Kang-tae finally goes to Soo-ta himself to ask for an autograph. After signing autographs and chatting, Kang-tae held out his hand to Soo-ta, but Soo-ta ignored him. Moments later, Kang-tae's henchmen come back to Soo-ta and scold him for the way Soo-ta insulted Kang-tae. When Soo-ta's assistant tries to contact the police, one of Kang-tae's men beats him, then Soo-ta follows him, who beats Kang-tae's men so that he falls on a chair. Meanwhile, Kang-tae's other subordinate immediately beats Soo-ta. Just as he is about to hit Soo-ta in the face, Kang-tae stops her. Later, Kang-tae instead gives him a check with his phone number to pay for the medical expenses of Soo-ta's friend who was beaten earlier. The next day, Kang is seen meeting someone. He is Mr. Park. Mr. Park used to be Boss Beak's best friend, but is now Boss Beak's enemy. Carrying the money in the bag, Kang-tae pleads that Boss Beak can be released. But unfortunately, Kang-tae's efforts were not successful. Then the scene changes in prison. Kang visits his boss named Beak. He reports that he was unsuccessful in negotiating with Mr. Park. But the boss doesn't mind that because he knows that Mr. Park doesn't have enough evidence, and Mr. Beak asks that Kang-tae not cause trouble until the trial is over. Elsewhere, Soo-ta meets his girlfriend. His girlfriend looked sad and stated that she was not a prostitute, which she only came to when she was about to make love. The woman asks that their relationship not be hidden, but Soo-ta still doesn't agree to his girlfriend's request because he is afraid that the media will exaggerate the news and expose his girlfriend to more. After the argument, his girlfriend leaves Soo-ta. The next day, Soo-ta starts acting with her co-star Sung-min. When their director, Mr. Bong, thinks the scene that has just been done looks like a lie. How can Soo-ta have fallen first when Sung-min hasn't been hit yet? After that, Mr. Bong requested that the two of them have a more realistic scene. Then they started shooting again. Here you can see Sung-min reflexively injuring Soo-ta for real up to 3 times. Soo-ta himself is annoyed by Sung-min's actions that hurt him. Then in the next scene, Soo-ta blindly injures Sung-min for real, causing Sung-min to be seriously injured. The scene changes again. Outside the building, the reporter and Sung-min's fans came to Soo-ta. They all ask for clarification on Soo-ta's actions while acting together. Sung-min's fans also berate Soo-ta and shout at him to apologize. As Soo-ta expresses his apologies, he is suddenly pelted with eggs and flour by Sung-min's fans because they feel Soo-ta's apology is insincere. After that, Soo-ta walks towards his car. In the evening, Soo Ta's manager says that several contracts with him were cancelled after Soo Ta injured his co-star while shooting a movie. Then Soo Ta also met his director, Mr. Bong. The director also said that no one wanted to be his co-star anymore because he had injured his co-star several times. Then we see Soo Ta and his assistant busy calling all of his actor friends to play a movie with him. But no one was willing to accept his invitation. Until finally Soo Ta's assistant found the check that was given by Kang, and Soo Ta also intends to invite Kang to join him because previously Kang said he had played in movies. Soo Ta also meets Kang and invites him to play a movie. Soo Ta also explains that he is the main character and that the film is a gangster film. Then, Kang Pei agreed to Soo Ta's offer. But on condition, they have to fight for real because he doesn't want Soo Ta to pretend to beat him just like that. The next day, Kang was seen memorizing the script and commented on by the director. Then, Kang Mi-na was seen leaving the set, being chased and immediately kissed by Kang. There Kang explained that he tried the scene in script 87. Here Kang is seen trying many times to do scenes like in the script. However, he was like trouble. And the next day, Soo Ta and Kang do a fight scene, and the director worries that they're going to have a real fight. And, sure enough, Kang beats Soo Ta time and time again. The director also said cut, but Kang still beats Soo Ta. Then after that Kang left the set. And in the evening, Soo Ta is invited by Kang to the entertainment venue. Which there, Kang was already with two beautiful women. Long story short, when Kang was in the car making out with one of his girlfriends, he suddenly got a call from Kang Mi-na. Mi-na asks him to come right away. It turns out that Mi-na is in danger because a man is trying to be rude to her. Luckily, Mi-na is saved by Kang Pei. Carry on. The next few days. Mi-na with Kang Pei and chatting on the beach. Here, it seems that Mi-na and Kang Pei are attracted to each other. The scene changes again. Kang Pei is in prison meeting his boss. He explains that Boss Beak's financial records and secondary contracts are missing. Then, his boss orders Kang Pei to immediately find out who the culprit is, which is most likely Mr. Park's subordinate. Then, Kang Pei and his men search for Mr. Park's whereabouts. And a fight broke out between Kang Pei's group and Mr. Park's men. The next day, Kang Pei continues the filming process with his team. This time, Kang Pei gets a scene with Kang Mi-na. There, Mi-na, who is cycling, is suddenly stopped by Kang Pei's car. In the script, Mi-na and Kang Pei argue and Mi-na ends up being dragged into Kang Pei's car. What's surprising is, during the scene in the car where Kang Pei is supposed to be raping Mi-na in a fake way, Kang Pei did it for real. Until finally, Mi-na pushed the car door while screaming for help. Then, Soo Ta runs to stop Kang Pei from treating Mi-na. Soo Ta is annoyed with Kang Pei's treatment, he says rudely to Kang Pei. Then after that, Kang Pei left the set, while Mi-na herself was seen still crying in the car. Long story short, Soo Ta goes to Kang Pei because he feels guilty for what he said last time. But here Kang Pei seems to be in a hurry somewhere. Soo Ta asks Kang Pei where he's going. Funnily enough, Kang Pei replies that he's going to film. The astonished Soo Ta continues to follow him until finally they both come to Mr. Park, who just came out of a shop carrying a statue. At first, Kang Pei greets Mr. Park politely. Then, Mr. Park gave the statue to Kang Pei. After being accepted and Mr. Park walking away from Kang Pei and Soo Ta, suddenly Kang Pei beat Mr. Park with the statue and hit him on the head many times. Soo Ta, who witnessed the incident himself, he looks horrified and is about to vomit at the sight of the blood pouring from Mr. Park's head. Not long after that the police arrived. Kang Pei is led into the police car without a fight. While Soo Ta is still horrified to see what happened, in the car Kang Pei smashes the windshield with his head until the glass shatters. Soo Ta looks at Kang Pei in shock, while Kang Pei smiles broadly at him. And, the movie is over. Okay, until here first, the storyline of the movie. See you in another movie storyline, okay? Bye.